All right, we are live for day 2 of the draft. Welcome everyone to Chicago Football Connection podcast. I'm your host Steve Letizia. Follow me on Twitter at CFC Bears. Joined by Luke O'Grady. Follow him on Twitter at Luke O'Grady. We had a bit of a late start, some travel issues, no worries, but we are on the clock before the Bears pick. We are at pick 44 right now. The Colts just picked Julius Brents. Bears pick at 53, 61, and 64 today. We got the Packers on the clock right now. So we want to jump on. We're going to be with you the rest of the night, kind of talk about who the Bears might be looking at. We're going to talk about John Wright later. After the Bears are kind of done for the day, we'll talk about kind of all their picks. So still a lot of good talent on the board, a lot of interior offensive linemen, a lot of centers on the board. Joe Tippmann just went, unfortunately, but JMS, Luke Weipler, a lot of D tackles, Keanu Benton. So I know, Luke, you've been traveling all day. So anyone you're kind of keeping your eye on, hoping maybe falls at 53?
Yeah, I think that like some of the interior guys and some of the centers you should be able to get with maybe some of the later second round picks that we have, and maybe like that first and the third. So I'd like to see it some D tackles or some edge rushers with those first two. Keanu Benton would be a dream, but a lot of those pass rushers that are still left, Isaiah McGuire, Derek Hall, any guy like that would be really, really awesome.
So Derek
Hall
the biggest
need on the team was the. Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up here now.
That's cool. Adebaware still on the board. Keanu Benton, both those guys would be huge. I think the Lions actually just traded up with the Packers, so they swapped picks. The Lions are on the clock now. Pick is
very weird.
So I don't know what they're going to go. They've been good. They've had a weird draft so far, but we'll see what they do. I'm really, really hoping for Keanu Benton or Adebaware. I didn't think he'd even last this long, to be honest. So
it's funny that he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just really raw and he's got to change positions, but he's just so athletic. Like for a team that might probably isn't going to compete this year, and you just want a guy to develop, like you think he's perfect.
Yeah.
Other guys, let me pull up who do we got like best available right now? Jalen Hyatt maybe one on the board if you want some speed. Josh Downs still available. Brian Branch is still available. Honestly, like if he's on the board,
Brian Branch could be a nice choice too.
That would, I mean. Like cornerback is still a need. Like that would be a real nice choice. I didn't realize he was still available.
He played safety in college, but he probably translates better to nickel.
Yeah, I mean he's a slot corner.
His best work was in the slot.
Yeah, so I think he would definitely be in play. And just like that's just such a value pick. Yeah, I don't know if you could pass that up if like he's still on the board. But yeah, John Michael Schmitz, Keon White, Keely Ringo, DJ Turner, a lot of good corners on the board.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they can go so many different directions because they have so many needs. So they can go interior offensive line, they can go D line, they can go edge, they can go corner, wide receiver, tight end. So it's an option. So running back even. I mean, I don't know, wouldn't be a fan of them going running back with the 53rd overall pick or even any of these kind of picks, but it wouldn't be a shock.
No, for sure. I mean, these picks here are where Poles are going to make his money in this draft. So it'd be nice to see him come in with a little bit of a plan for sure.
Yep. I mean,
a couple really big names. Now that I'm just looking at the list of the guys who've gotten picked.
Yeah.
Steve Avila off the board, Derek Hall, Isaiah Foskey, Ojulari.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a run on edge guys. That's really that might be. I think that's just going to be the position that you're going to have to just kind of kick down the road and hope the guys you sign. Maybe you even bring in another vet after the draft because it's kind of. I mean, there's still some intriguing guys on the board. Isaiah McGuire, Zach Harrison, but if it just might be that might be the position. I think we've talked about kind of having saying like there's probably going to be one position we come out of the draft like I wish we would adjust that earlier, but it's just the way it is. So and it's looking like edge might be that position.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the nature of the beast, right? You could have taken an edge in the first round and then thought when you got to this point, we'll have to address offensive tackle later. So I'm glad the way they did it. That was offensive tackle was the biggest need that we had.
Yeah. I mean, especially now that Bergeron went off the board, like so right before, who would you pick if you didn't go down all right in the first or even offensive tackle in the first? Who are you looking at now? You're looking at like a Blake Freeland or Wanya Morris. Like, I don't. That's
Dawand Jones.
He's still on the board.
One of my guys.
Yeah.
He would be the only one before I kind of think you've entered that like next wave.
Yeah, for sure. I am surprised that DeJuan Jones is still on the board here. I thought he would go higher, but with like New England, I think New England's a good spot for him next potentially.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Lions trading up.
Lions pick is
board
in.
Here, probably gonna.
They're announcing the pick right now. God, so the Lions took a running back at 12, which is ridiculous, and it's not Bijan Robinson. Then they went linebacker at 18, and then they went Sam Laporta which was a good pick, but like, man, that's for how much draft capital they have and how they want to compete. Like, it's not a great draft for them, I feel like.
For like, as far as taking into consideration position value and trying to get some cheap labor at the most expensive positions, I love the players that the Lions took. I just think where they took them was tough.
So they just took Brian Branch. So we were talking about him. That's a good pick for them.
Did they?
I like that a lot for them. Yep. So he's off the board now. But that was a good pick for the Lions. So they got 4 good players, but yeah, the positional value just isn't really there.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because they could have taken Brian Branch with the pick that they took Jahmyr Gibbs, and it would have looked a lot more normal. But the way the board ends up falling, that's not so bad at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Other people said that apparently Jahmyr Gibbs was like going to go in the top 20. Like if the Lions didn't pick him, someone else is going to pick him. Yeah, who knows? That's probably just what the Lions are saying. But yeah. But Brian Branch, that was a good pick. I can't believe he fell all the way to 45.
No, for sure.
He's a really good player. I know his athletic testing wasn't great. He kind of tested poorly, but just like from the tapes perspective, dude's a good football player.
Exactly. He's a trusted tape guy.
Yeah, for sure. What else we got? I guess we could probably talk about Darnell Wright a little bit. We got about 6 or 7 picks for the Bears right now. What was your initial reaction?
I think once I was disappointed that we didn't take the risk on Jalen Carter, but like I understand not doing so. Like I understand thinking that like, he probably will become a great pick, but you kind of like are leaving that to be someone else's headache to some extent, if that makes sense. Like the Bears are in a rebuild and the picks that we're making right now are going to be people that we're going to rely on being great players for this team, or like, we need them to be really good players for this team. Someone like the Eagles, they don't need to be like a playmaker immediately. If Jalen Carter sat this year out, they'd still have Super Bowl odds kind of thing. So I understand, like telling Philly, we might take him here, and Philly giving us a 4th next year to come up and do it. And then sitting in at 10, it's hard to pick a couple of people better than the Darnell Wright option. It was the biggest need on the roster. He was on, I would say, everybody's board. He was offensive tackle 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. Like it was Paris Johnson and it was Paris Johnson. It was Darnell Wright. I mean, like some people were higher on Broderick Jones than others, but I think for the most part, the consensus was that like it was either Darnell Wright or Paris Johnson. And as far as it being pro ready or maybe like readiness and pass protection, Darnell Wright was probably the best in the class. And that's what everyone's been talking about all offseason is that, it's probably your job's going to be made easier if you're having to run block for Justin Fields because there's so much hesitancy on the defensive end side. And because like, you can kind of pass off the backside guys a little bit more. And if you're coming in and you're the best pass blocker in the class, then it's a really good fit for what we're trying to do.
For sure. Yeah. I kind of had a similar sentiment. Like I was at a bar watching with some friends and I was taking a victory lap when Jalen Carter was on the board at 9. I was so pumped. I was like, we got Jalen Carter, we got it. And then someone said, "Hey Steve, they traded the pick." And I turned around and I saw like trade alert and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But then they took Darnell Wright, who I did have as my offensive tackle 1. So I was ecstatic.
You did, yeah, that was your guy.
I mean, I would have taken the chance on Jalen Carter, like you said, but we don't know. We don't know we were not in those rooms when they were interviewing him. We don't really know the full picture. We said it. I think we both said it on the podcast before that if the Bears did pass on Jalen Carter, he was on the board, that we couldn't really hold it against him. And that's how I still feel. I mean, they must. I mean,
it's the first round pick that Ryan Poles is going to make in his Bears tenure.
Yeah, you got to nail it.
It's exactly. It's a huge boomer bust, and I don't think boomer bust is really the position that they're in right now. Like they need to get a player that they know can contribute. They know they're not going to have to babysit.
Right. I think next year would be a in the first round with when you have 2 first-round picks. That's where with one of those picks you can really like swing for the fences and go big. But yeah, at this point, yeah, I think you're right. They needed someone who they know is going to be at least a solid starter for them, and that's definitely
Man,
done.
how about
right.
the Eagles? Eagles going
Dude,
Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith.
That's unfair. That is unfair. Like that, they had the best draft in my opinion on day one.
The Georgia boys, either them or the Seahawks. Seahawks went cute. I mean,
Who
CB one and wide receiver one.
Oh,
they
yeah,
went
yeah.
Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
That's a good one too. That's pretty good. Yeah. The Packers picking Lucas Van Ness was just chef kiss. Loved that.
Chef's kiss. Dude, you have to say that, like, if you know, it's disappointing that you didn't get Jalen Carter as the Bears, but on the flip side, it's such a treat that the rest of the division drafted so poorly.
Right. So Keon White just went to the Patriots. I liked him a lot. That's such a Patriots pick though. Like he's a guy who could play multiple positions and just like move on up and down the defensive line. Like he's like a high risk guy, I feel like, but I think the Patriots are a good spot for him. Like I think he's gonna do well there. But yeah, the edge talent is that's another edge guy that there's been a run. I don't think there's gonna be. I mean, we'll see, but I think D tackle.
Packers trade back again.
Really?
Yeah, traded back 2 spots, and they let the Bucks come up for someone just after the Commanders here.
Oh, they traded back. They're not even on the clock yet. Is my thing behind? I have it that they just announced the Patriots picks and the Commanders are on the clock.
No, the Commanders are still on the clock. Yeah, absolutely. But the Tampa Bay just traded with Green Bay.
Okay, got it.
Whoa. Oh, Dov Kleiman.
Dov Kleiman.
Actually, Kleiman actually spoiled it a little bit. I do know. I can see here who the looks like the Commanders are selecting Jartavius Martin, the DB who played opposite Deonte Banks.
Wow. Okay.
He was the guy that he was the guy that like his RAS score was like.
That's Jacorian Bennett, right? Martin was at Illinois. He was opposite Devin Witherspoon, right?
Yeah, 100. You know what? When you say it, you're right. But the picture they're showing me here is of someone that played for Maryland. It could be that they just got the wrong image.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's possible. Someone screwed up at ESPN.
So the Commanders go back-to-back DBs. Go Emmanuel Forbes in the first, and then come back and go DB again in the second.
Dude, those were actually 2 reaches. Like I like Travis Martin, but in top 50 is a little rich. But yeah, the fact that they went Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez and Deonte Banks was crazy.
I know. And I like Emmanuel Forbes. I think his game sense is probably one of the betters in the class, but there's so many concerns.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed. Yeah, the 166 pounds, man, that's gonna be tough. But it could be that could also be a high risk, high reward thing because he could also be really just a lockdown corner, really good. So okay, so we're about 5 picks away from the Bears. I don't think there were some rumors that they were thinking about trading up. Poles kind of mentioned it. I don't think at this point there's any point in trading up. You're 5 picks away. There's still a lot of good guys on the board. I would just stay where we're at.
Yeah, I think at this point you can stay still and probably be happy with the guys that you can get.
Right. Pick us in for the Bucks.
Right now, Adebaware is still on the board. JMS still on the board. Keanu Benton. Any of those guys.
Any of those 3, at least one of those guys is going to be on the board when the Bears are picked, and I'd be happy with any one of those guys. I have a feeling that this pick is going to – I have a feeling this pick is going to be defense. It's going to be Adebaware or Benton or something like that because it seems like Darnell Wright was a Ryan Poles pick, and I think they're going to get pick for the head coach. Wow, I'm blanking on our head coach's name.
Eberflus.
Eberflus, holy shit, man! It's been a long day. Matt Eberflus, this is gonna be a Matt Eberflus pick. You're gonna throw him a bone and get him that 3 technique.
Yep. So Tampa, I think was Tampa now on board. Tampa traded up to get here, man. You have to imagine that they probably have one of those guys that we probably just mentioned.
Okay, so it's not a guy. It's not a guy we just mentioned. I just got explode for me too.
Oh, did ya?
Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. Oh shit. I don't know if we should spoil it or not. I don't know what's going on. The Steelers pick got spoiled, and it was one of the people we mentioned.
Oh, Tampa takes. Wow.
They took
The
him
next
off,
two
right?
picks were actually both.
Yeah, Tampa
Yeah,
cut him
and
off.
I just
I'm fine with that,
I
though.
saw a tweet about who the Steelers took as well, and it's someone that we did mention.
I did too. It's a bummer.
Yeah,
That's such a
it
bummer.
is what
I
it
really
is.
wanted him.
I know.
Adebaware still on the board though.
Adebaware, John Michael Schmitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just say? I mean, people. There's like no. Keanu Benton went to the Steelers. That's who we really wanted. But yeah, Adebaware, John Michael Schmitz. Still a lot of corners still available. Jalen Hyatt they can go with. They want a receiver. Darnell Washington.
Josh Downs even.
Josh Downs, yeah, that's another good
Washington,
one. Yeah. Cam Smith still available too. Man,
Cam Smith's still available.
Yeah, Cam Smith would be a good pick. That would be a hell of a pick. So, okay, so Mock went to 48. 49 was Benton. So we have then two more picks. We have Green Bay and then who's ever at 50. Oh, no, three more picks. Green Bay, 51 and 52. And we still got, I don't think, I mean, at this point, you're definitely not trading up.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say. It seems unlikely to me that the Bears and the Packers would ever be trade like trade partners.
Yeah, I don't see.
Although the Packers and the Lions did it, which is even a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, it gets a little bit easier to handle like when it's later in the draft, but like round one, you don't see that up. And round two, in the top 50, it's tough to trade with a division rival. Pick us in for this. Oh, we already know the Steelers pick. Steelers are having a good draft. Well, no, they actually took Broderick Jones. Never mind. Oh shit! You know the Packers pick.
Yeah. Don't say shit. John Michael Schmitz.
No, it's not someone we mentioned, but it's someone I like. It was one of my guys. Wide receiver.
Cedric Tillman.
No, Jaden Reed. A little high for him.
They took Jaden Reed in the second.
That's a good. I mean, I think that's a good pick. I mean, it's a little bit high probably, but I think it's a good pick.
Jaden Reed, man, what an ascension for him to be picked over like a Josh Downs and a Jalen Hyatt and a Cedric Tillman and a Tyler Scott is crazy. I was Jaden Reed is a guy that I wanted to like more than I did. I know he was one of your guys, but I thought his tape was okay, and I thought like a lot of the like momentum that he caught was because he looked so damn good at the Senior Bowl, which is like it is what it is. But it's like, you know, we talked about this before, is how much stock like you kind of leverage between one or the other.
Right.
Jaden Reed going to the Packers, man. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, with Reed, like that Michigan State offense was a mess, and he was. I mean, so you kind of I give a little bit better of it out there too. So, but yeah, I mean, I agree that was a little high. I mean, I had like Tyler Scott above him. I had Hyatt, I believe, above him. Downs above him.
Second.
I still like that pick for the
Packers.
Unfortunately, I wish he didn't go to the Packers.
Yeah,
I really wanted to like root for him in the NFL, and now I can't. Now I gotta hate him. So that sucks.
Okay, Adebaware and John Michael Schmitz still on the board.
Do we know? I'm already.
So I mean, there's a chance that the Dolphins and the Seahawks could both take them there, but I would say that there's a pretty good chance that one of some of our guys are still on the board.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to take him. They need a D tackle. That's Adebaware is such a Seattle pick. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean Cam Smith even too. I love that you mentioned that. I love Cam Smith. Even Tyreek Stevenson here. Like, there's still a bunch of good people on the board.
We both had Cam Smith,
and I love that. Like
at high in our rankings,
top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, we both had Cedric Tillman ahead of Jaden Reed too, and he's still on the board.
Sure.
Like Cedric Tillman here would actually be such a treat, but it would also be like, there are probably bigger needs.
Right. Yeah, wide receiver does kind of feel like a luxury pick, but I don't think it's that much. Like it would be fine if they got the right guy. If they
No.
like reach for, and if we have another Velus Jones situation, then that's a problem. But we'll see. DeJuan Jones is still available. I mean, the Bears probably aren't going to pick DeJuan Jones because we've done all right, but that gets
I know,
surprising.
which is a shame. But looking at it now is like, just take Jalen Carter and then take DeJuan Jones.
It could have been, but I mean, I don't think my guess is that they thought DeJuan Jones would be long gone by now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool that the Steelers got Joey Porter. It's cool that
is cool.
Kind of went home.
Yeah, that is real cool.
It was funny that he snuck out of the first round. I mean, like, especially with Emmanuel Forbes going where he went.
Right. Yeah.
I have like Cam Smith like right in that right with Emmanuel Forbes and Joey Porter in that next tier down from Gonzalez and Witherspoon. So him being there, I mean, there's actually a bunch of really fun picks still on the board. I hope the Bears don't do something that oh well, I shouldn't even put anything negative into the universe.
yeah. No, don't say whatever you were thinking. I'm like trying to. I go into the draft. We talked about this a little bit before, but I go into the draft saying I'm not going to spoil the picks. I'm just going to see it like live, and then I actually get into the draft and I get impatient and I start scrolling Twitter.
Spoil.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
So because like I don't know, but my TV is still. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say because my TV is still on the Steelers pick, and like I know people are like spoiling like the Dolphins pick right now.
Yeah, where am I right now? Let me see. Because I'm lagging here. I got some hotel Wi-Fi going. Yeah, I got the Steelers pick here. They're still on Keanu Benton.
Okay, so yours is the same thing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we know the Packers picked Jaden Reed. I'm trying to figure out who the Dolphins picked. All right, we'll see. Who the Dolphins might pick like offensive line maybe. They have a center, so they're not going to go John Michael Schmitz. We're looking at we know they're 2 picks away, and John Michael Schmitz and Adebawore are still both on the board. So unless they go 51-52, we're looking pretty good. It was Cam Smith to Miami.
Here. Great choice.
Yeah. So so now we have 1 pick away, and there are 2 guys that we really like, John Michael Schmitz and Adebawore. Yep. I think it's going to be Adebawore.
I think so too. Just in that there's a little bit more flexibility at safety. If you don't get John Michael Schmitz, you could get like an Oluwatimi, or you could get like a Weipler.
That's true. I agree with that. I think
Devin Hester's announced the pick. I remember seeing that earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great pick for Miami. I mean, it's funny that they would invest there, having already invested like a 3rd round pick and going and getting what's his name from the Rams?
Jalen Ramsey. Oh man, that defense, and they already had Xavier Howard too. Like that defensive back room is real good. Yeah, Miami knows. I mean, Miami is building their team the right way. You build your team to throw the ball and to stop the pass. That's what they've done. They just need a new quarterback potentially, but
yeah, he got scrambled egg brain, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
God bless him.
Yeah,
I was watching
a lot of money.
Me and like my friends out here were talking about it. Like, it just seems that like Tua does a terrible job of bracing himself when he falls.
Yeah.
Like he always feels like he's whipping his head back, and he there was a piece that apparently he spent like part of this offseason learning how to fall per se.
Yeah, that's interesting. So the Seahawks made the most Seahawks pick of all time and picked Zach Charbonnet, who I really like, but they don't need a running back.
They did.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's
So John's Michael Smith, Adetomiwa Adebawore, both on the board for the Bears. Take your pick. I would be okay with either one of them.
Bears.
Who else we got? I mean, those are just like 2 really good options, but anyone else that jumps out? Cedric Tillman, something about Josh Downs, if they want to go wide receiver. Still good corners. DJ Turner, Keely Ringo. Osiris Torrance is still on the board. They're not going to pick him most likely, but that's another guy who's fallen.
Osiris Torrance, I was about to say, man, like me and you like kind of shaded him a little bit in our like guard rankings, and like I think maybe like there was a lot more steam behind him being the top guard prospect than everyone else kind of thought.
Yeah, I think there's some injury concerns with him. That's what the reports were. And he's also
Lucas
older.
Van Ness, Luke Musgrave, and Jaden Reed are the 3 picks for the Packers so far. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, I like Luke Musgrave.
Yeah.
I like Luke Musgrave. I do. I like Jaden Reed. I do too. I think to some extent, I would kind of view all 3 of those picks as a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just like not huge reaches, but just a little bit too high for all of them.
Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, man. Like I'm getting Cam Smith announced on my screen now.
I have the Seahawks pick is in, but they haven't announced this.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, you're ahead of me.
Now the question is, what do I scroll Twitter and spoil myself on the Bears pick, or do I wait for them to announce it live?
I'm gonna wait until I see it on my screen, or until you see it on your screen. I think.
If I see it, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Scrolling?
I don't know. Maybe I should.
Well, it's gonna be. I mean, no, yeah. Let's wait and let's see it get. Let's see it said. It's gonna be Devin Hester saying, "Let's enjoy the moment."
All right, I'm gonna spoil myself.
You'll be ahead of me,
but I won't spoil you.
You announcing it to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I unintentionally got it spoiled for me, and I don't think we're gonna be happy about it. I actually don't hate the pick, but I know you're not going to like the pick, and Tommy's not going to like the pick.
Tommy not going to like the pick. Well, you can tell me. At this point, if you know, I can know.
It's Gervin Dexter from Florida. So Gervin Dexter is an interesting case because he's a crazy good athlete. Crazy good athlete, tackle. But he
looked really good at the combine. Looked like he moved really, really well.
Yeah, has the slowest get up I've ever seen, probably. But he's also so strong. Like, this dude is unmovable. 6'6", 310 pounds, huge, kind of in that DeForest Buckner kind of mold. Yep. So maybe this was like the Eberflus pick here. So interesting. Probably. I mean, I know a lot of people are really high on him. I think I did have him in my top 10 D tackles. I don't know exactly where I had him, I did like him the more I watched him. I will say that because when I initially watched him, I hated him. I didn't think he was anything. But that's an interesting pick, to say the least.
Lots of good players still on the board.
Lots of good players. It's not a bad pick. I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think the general consensus is that people aren't going to like that because he hasn't been really like a flashy name. But like I said, like the dude is unmovable, and if you can you can coach up his first step a little bit. This guy, I think he's got a really high potential. And like we said, he had close to like a 10 RAS score. Dude is an athletic.
Yeah, especially for being like he's over 300 pounds. He's young. He's only like 21 years old.
Yep.
Is Brian Brzee still on the board too?
No, Brzee went round 1.
Who do you end up going to?
The Saints, I believe.
Saints. All right, Bears. You get your 3 tech. Yeah, I mean he had a 1.7 10-yard split, which actually isn't so bad at all, and a really nice 3 cone. So like he has all the tools to be great, but he just never really produced at the level you'd like those tools to show.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what some people smarter than us think. If they have any insight.
I mean, let's see where Brugler had him. I had his draft guide up. He liked Brugler. I know liked Gervin Dexter a lot. So he had Gervin Dexter as the 5th best defensive tackle over Keanu Benton, over Ediboware. 6'5.5", 310 pounds. Yeah, not even 22 yet. There's a lot to like about this pick, but I think it's a bit of a high risk, high reward kind of situation because I think this is a guy who wasn't very productive in college, only 4.5 sacks, a lot of tackles, but he's more of a nose tackle than a 3 technique.
Yep. He moves more like a 3 technique, but he's built like a nose tackle.
Yep, he plays like a nose tackle.
This is a pick that to some extent is like probably just like it's best described as what could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Brugler had him 55th overall on his board, and we took him at 53. So not bad there.
Yep.
Not a reach at all. This is kind of the range he was going in. Again, I don't think it's a flashy pick, but I think this is going to be a pick that we look back on and like a lot more because he's just so athletic and everything like that. So we've got
all right.
That's interesting though. So so we're building through the trenches. We got an offensive lineman in the first. We got defensive lineman in the second. That's what we've been wanting. That's what everyone's been asking for.
Yep. Add him to the room of the dudes that we added in free agency as well, and you start to get more and more competitive.
Yeah, I almost wondering if the Bears might, I don't think they're going to be like switching up their defense, but they're getting guys who are, probably more suited to like a odd front. Because I picture Gervin Dexter as more as like a 3-4 defensive end rather than a 4-3 defensive tackle. I know you're in nickel most of the time, Ari, so most of the time that doesn't mean much, but you are in your base formation, still a third of the game. So, but with him, he struck me more as a 3-4 guy. DeMarcus Walker, Rasheem Green are bigger defensive ends. So it's interesting, but maybe they might go to more of a multiple look potentially.
Yep, that was a traitsy pick for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's always nice, and like the Twitter experience for the draft is always awesome. As soon as your player gets picked, you see all these clips just getting posted and these little cut-ups and stuff, and you can do your looks on again. Because it's funny, man. Like some of these players I haven't looked at in 2 months.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I do remember, man. I remember me and Tommy talked about this too. Like seeing Dexter move at the combine was like, damn. Like it was like I almost wish I liked his tape more, just being that he moves so dang well in shorts. But there's something to be said about and like the Sumer Sports guy. I'm not sure if you're following the Sumer Sports guy, but they Thomas Dimitrov and Eric Eager do like a little thing every week. They do their podcast, and Dimitrov was saying that like that the way that you move in shorts, you'd be surprised like how much like people take that into account because like they want to see how guys can move and bend and change direction. And it's a lot about hips and ankles, and it's a little bit of like the talk was a little in depth for me, but there's no doubt that like Dexter moved as like one of the better players at the position at the combine.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, the 9.53 RAS score, 1.7 10-yard split, like you said, 7.53 cone for a guy who's 310 pounds is pretty ridiculous. I mean, he has all the traits that you want in a defensive tackle. If anyone needs coaching, I feel like these Florida guys that come out are always, raw. That's just kind of like, those guys come out of Florida are always raw. So, and he's definitely raw. But there's a lot of traits to work with, and if you can coach him up a little bit, I think he has a super high ceiling, probably higher than Benton maybe. Benton's more pro ready and everything like that, but he also has a low floor. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Gervin Dexter's out of the league in a few years, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the better D tackles.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, dang, Gervon Dexter, man, his combine was crazy. Yeah, 310 pounds, and he ran a 4.88.
Yeah, that's crazy. It just my biggest concern with him was his get off from the line. I think I even read an interview where they talked about it, and he said it himself. He's like, yeah, that's something I need to work on. He's just so slow off the snap, which you wouldn't expect if you just saw his RAS profile. You'd be like, wow, this guy's probably has a great first step, but he doesn't. But that's something that's easily fixable. I feel like that's just reactionary skills. Like you can coach that up and everything like that. And if you can just get that right, then use his length a lot better. He does actually. I just looking now. He has only 32-inch arms, just over 32 inches, which is weird for a guy who's almost 6'6".
Yeah, and that's a big one for him is using his arms better. I felt like he let guys into his best kind of go-to moves were letting guys into his chest and almost like ripping through them after that, like doing like the pull over. But if he could kind of like do a better job of keeping people at bay, and then like having those pullover tools when they get chest to chest as like a nice to have when it does happen. He just needs to get coached up. I mean, there's like like his RAS score showed, there's very few like defensive tackles that move like he does.
Sure.
But
Time will
the
tell.
draft
We'll see.
the draft continues.
Yeah, boy. Still on the. I mean, we still got a pick in like about 7 picks. The Chargers just went Tuli Pelotu. Kind of missed. Oh no, that is the pick right after us. So
Yep.
we didn't really miss anything. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible
I
John
like
Michael
too.
Schmitz. It's possible John Michael Schmitz still is at 61. I also would not rule out if Adeboaware is at their 61, just going back to back D tackles. You got Dexter 1 tech, you got Adeboaware 3 tech. I wouldn't rule that out.
No, there's 5 or 6 guys that are still a bunch of fun still on the board. To Tyreek Stevenson, like we talked about, John Michael Schmitz. Even now, we're starting to get into Luke Whiteblood territory that I would be fine with. Rashee Rice just goes off the board, meaning that I don't know why Josh Downs is still there. I mean, I've said it. One of my big knocks with him is I have some durability concerns. He kind of looks like he takes a beating even just falling to the turf. But as far as like separation, getting open, like agility, because the Bears don't have any really natural slot guys on the roster right now. He seems like a really obvious fit. I think at some point, like push has to kind of come to shove with him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Josh Downs not going is a head scratcher, I'd say. I wasn't as high on him as you, but and like Tommy was, I know. I was probably lower because I didn't think he was like a 3-level threat, like as I mentioned when we were doing our wide receiver pod. But I mean, the fact that at 55, 56, whatever we are now, like that's he should have gone by now for sure. I wonder if the Giants might go to be a good place. Jacksonville, Kansas City. Didn't Kansas City draft a wide receiver?
Yeah, Kansas City just traded up and took Rashee Rice.
Oh, okay. They took Rashee Rice. Got it.
Oh, another trade. Guess who's on the clock?
The Bears?
Bears are on the clock.
Bears are on the clock?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Bears on the clock, buddy.
Okay, all right. Who we got? It's
so
John
I
Michael
would say,
Schmitz, probably.
this is probably John Michael Schmitz or Adeboaware, right?
Yeah.
If it's someone that they're trading up for at this point, I mean, public perception is never perfectly right, but you have to imagine it's someone that like the rest of the league is thinking, okay, this is kind of where he's going to go, or they're leapfrogging someone. So they traded with Jacksonville.
The Jaguars, 61 and 135 to move up to 56. That's not bad. I'm fine with that.
Bad.
One pick.
So for them to come up to Jacksonville, it means they're jumping the Giants, Cowboys.
It's got to be Schmitz. It's got to be John Michael Schmitz. I would be shocked if it's not. I feel like the Jacksonville.
I've been shocked before.
Yeah, no, I was shocked about the Gervin Dexter pick too.
I know. So I don't hold out hope that they're gonna follow our board the same. But
I'm on the.
You gotta love them going up with some conviction.
Yeah, I'm on the RAS site right now. I can't even get it to load because I bet people are just. There's so many people on this site right now.
How's Rashee Rice move?
Yeah. I wanted to see what the comparisons for Gervin Dexter were. Okay, I finally got it to load.
Chris Jones is one I saw a lot, actually.
Kevin Williams is the closest athletic comp, which is interesting. I want to see how he compares to DeForest Buckner, because I do think they have like a similar build and play style. I mean, Buckner's obviously way better and was better coming out as a prospect, but
yeah,
from a size perspective, they're very similar. All right, do we know who they're picking?
I'm sure Twitter does.
So far, nothing.
Okay.
You see who they picked?
Yeah, my internet here is crazy bad.
It's cool. It's cool. I bet it's JMS.
Bears back on the clock and only had to give up 135. Not bad at all.
I don't think that's bad at all. Yeah, Bears traded with select Tyreek Stevenson. So the corner, who we both
yeah.
liked. Yeah. He was real high on your
I was
board,
saying
if I remember.
100%. I think he's like players in the space. Yes.
All right. We like it.
Right. Yeah, we do. I was saying that like 3 years down the road, I think that there's a chance that he's like one of the people in this class that could be an all-pro.
Yeah. No, Tyreek Stevenson's real good. A lockdown, could be a lockdown corner. And I think with this draft class, corner was such a deep position. We knew we were going to get someone in this kind of range who should, in a normal draft, would have been like a borderline first round pick. And I think that's Tyreek Stevenson to like a T.
Wow. Yes. You absolutely love to see it.
So going defense so far, round 2.
Yep. Tyreek Stevenson. It's interesting that they jumped the Giants to do it because.
Yeah.
Like the Giants already took Deonte Banks. I mean, I guess you could always make the argument, it's the other people in between, but I don't.
Right.
What's his name? Brad Biggs seems like that was a little bit too much to give up to move up just 5 spots. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I
is what, like a 5th round pick, 4th round pick?
I have the calculator up. Let's see. So it was, we traded, was it 56?
56, and we got we traded
61
and 135. Yeah.
So we actually got better. Sorry. Trader A gives values. Yeah, no, we actually got better. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars gave up 340, and we gave up 330. So we actually got that was actually good value. I didn't think that. When I saw that, I was like, that's really not that much.
Dude, people are crazy.
Trying to play out, and then there we go.
All right, now we're up next 63 or 64.
64. So what are we at 56 now?
8 more picks.
8 more picks. Man, this is fine.
I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, 100%. It really is. And like, not to mention, Gervin Dexter. I don't know if either of us would have picked him there, but he'll be a good player. I think we probably, if we would have got him a little later, we'd been happy with the pick. But love Tyreek Stevenson there.
Yeah,
love Tyreek Stevenson there.
I mean, if let's say if they picked Tyreek Stevenson at 53 and then Gervin Dexter at 56, like
you'd have felt way better about that.
Yeah, but I think Gervin Dexter. I was just seeing, so Montello we had on the podcast a while back. Says he had Gervin Dexter as the 8th best player on his board.
Fucking right.
Oh, in the entire
I remember
draft,
him saying,
not kick tackles.
I know, yeah. I remember him saying that he was like he fell in love with him in the fall and like just kept rising on him. But like Tyreek Stevenson, man, just love it. 4.4 speed, 1.49 10-yard split. His agility scores though aren't good, which actually always scares me. But 6'1", 200 pounds, like kind of cut from a mold of exactly what you want for a cornerback, explosive. If you put him on the outside, the agility stuff doesn't matter as much. If you can have his back to the sideline, he gets a little bit of break on that aspect. And tape-wise, loved his tape.
Yeah, real good. All right, you can go bathroom, man. All right, so if you're listening, so to recap, we got Darnell Wright at pick 10 in the first. Then we went Gervin Dexter at 53. Then we traded up with the Jaguars at 56, gave up 135, move up to pick Miami cornerback Tyreek Stevenson. So I was just looking up Gervin Dexter and DeForest Buckner's athletic profile, and they are actually pretty similar. I wonder if I can put this up on the video. I'm going to see if I can do that. Where is that? Where is that? Come on, come on. I have too many tabs open.
Yeah, I was just in the same situation. Then Twitter logged me out. I was like, oh, just as the Bears traded up, Twitter logged me out.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just mercy of what I get told here.
So that's the comparison, Gervin Dexter, Brett DeForest Buckner. That's actually pretty similar. Dexter's more athletic, obviously, and bigger, but that's not. I mean, that's pretty close,
dude. If you bring up the Dexter and Chris Jones, Dexter and Chris Jones are like smack dab, like same height, right, same weight, same 10-yard split.
All right, let's see. Hold on.
What D-line prospects are left that you guys would like with the 3rd round pick? It depends. Like defensive tackle, there's a couple of really nice players left. Kobe Turner's still on the board. Siaki Ika's still on the board. Moro Jomo's still on the board. Zach Pickens still on the board.
Those are Adebaware.
Byron Young, Adebaware. So the tackle's still like rich with options. And then at edge, Isaiah McGuire is probably the best name left at the moment.
Zach Harrison, Isaiah
Zach
McGuire,
Harrison, who's I would say is securely one of my guys. Keon White's gone. Isaiah Foskey's gone. Derek Hall's gone. Carl Brooks is still there. Byron Young's still there. Zach Harrison's there. And then afterwards, you kind of get into the 4th round grade guys. I love Andre Carter, but he's probably 4th round. Same with like a Yaya Diaby.
What's up, Tom?
Yo, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
What up, brother?
Chilling, man. I'm going out for
all right.
You,
round, man.
Tyreek Stevenson kind of got you off the ledge, didn't it?
I actually have not watched him, but
we like Tyreek Stevenson.
Okay, yeah, I need to give him a watch. I've heard good things about him.
I was telling Tommy. I mean, I was telling Steve when we were doing our like kind of like draft preview show that of the guys that like aren't talked about as much that I think have like a full chance to be like enter like all pro like ability, like Tyreek Stevenson is right there. I would say he's probably exclusively an outside corner. Just in that, like, he doesn't like flip his hips left and like his change of direction isn't awesome, but like he keeps guys in front of him so well. He plays the sideline so well. He's like a 4.4 speed guy, 6 foot, 200 pounds, like cut from the cloth you want for a DB. Feisty. He's sick. Like that's a foolish pick. John Michael Schmitz off the board.
I know. It's so sad.
Shit. I mean, if they wanted him, they were gonna pick him. They had 2 chances. Like there's no guarantee they would have picked him at 64, even if he was there. But it's still good centers, though. I mean, there's like Whitebler still on the board, Olotimi later on. I heard Juice Scruggs. They apparently love Juice Scruggs.
Dude, it sounds like everyone we've heard rumored to them, like who they done any type of work on, they actually really do like.
Yeah,
I know they did a lot of work on Struckster. Wait, you guys probably already talked about it, so I don't want to talk about him to death. But like,
no, we're talking about whatever.
Dude, I just I did not see it at all with him, and maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I need to watch. I know some people thought, or I know Steve, I saw your comment, but this is not the first time I saw about how he holds up against the run, and I thought like he was just kind of like naturally strong against the run, like hard to move, but like I didn't think he was like an actively good run defender either, though. Like he doesn't like stack people.
It depends on the game you watch.
Okay.
So I watched him initially, and I think we were talking about it. We all 3 of us were on a podcast at one point, and we all said we didn't like him. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, no, I didn't like him at all. Then I watched him again because he was kind of getting connected to the Bears a lot. I was like, okay, I gotta go back and take a look. And I liked him a lot more on my second watch. So I think maybe I just watched different games. I do agree with you 100%. He's just like naturally super strong and doesn't actually like have great technique.
Not like
against the run.
He did like, which is not a bad thing. Like if you want like that kind of player to kind of just like eat up space, like it's not I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but like that kind of like non-impact on top of not really being much as a pass rusher. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was really rich to take him there.
No, he's like him getting drafted there is 100% what he could be. I remember me and you actually talking about this, Tommy. Like he he looked so good in his like movement and drill stuff at the combine.
Yeah.
It made me go back and watch the tape, and the tape was kind of still what I thought. Like there were flashes, but then there were also like he gets washed away at times. I think it's like drafting him there. The expectation is that if you can influx like a little bit of talent, a little bit of technique to go with his talent, it could be like, it could be a quicker fix than like some of the other guys on the board that, you can't teach like ability to, like you can't teach like having a 9.5 RAS score. But I don't know if there's any tape that you can watch where he looks like he dominates. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like this is probably comp wise where he's like makes the most sense.
Yeah,
6'5",
that's
310.
the highest of end of what you envision. I thought the flat you do see the flashes like in terms of athleticism and like honestly violence. Like those would be random reps will like destroy someone.
Yeah.
But they're just like so far and few between. They're like once or twice a game. And the amount of times honestly that like it doesn't connect with him to like get off the ball is what's like, all right, like why is that a thing? Like
the biggest concern I had over anything we've talked about was his get off. It is his quickness out of the stab. It was the slowest I've ever seen of a prospect. I think
he's like it is like honestly a sight to see when you see everyone else get off before him, and he's like by far behind.
I'll get there.
It's bad. But like I did read an interview with him, and he admitted that. Like he said, like that's something I'm bad at. That it's something I need to work on. I think it was like something. It was an interview where he was connected with the Bears or something. So that's why I was reading it, and yeah, it's bad. But I mean, that's fixable though.
It is, but like that's here's the thing though. Like all of these things are, and I get the potential aspect, but like these are the players, in my opinion, that you save for day 3, and if someone else wants to take them earlier, so be it. Like, I don't care. Like, I want.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you're in a range of the draft where you still need starters. Like, you don't take guys that need this much development because obviously, yes, they can be fixed, but they also can't. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes they don't, and it's like it's all a game of risk assessment, and that's like why I would be a little hesitant. But like, obviously, if he works out, awesome. Great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of risk with this pick, like for sure. And like, are you gonna take a risky pick in essentially the top 50, especially with other guys on the board who you like John Michael Schmitz, who would step in right away and be a solid starter. But yeah, and I agree with you. There are flashes of brilliance with Gervon Dexter, but are you betting on flashes in the top 50? Like you want to see a guy who does it more often.
I mean,
I still don't mind the pick. I don't hate the pick. I don't mind it. Because I did, like I said, I went back and watched him and I liked him.
I need to go back and rewatch. Like totally.
Yeah. I mean, I got to watch more too. I mean, now I'm going to just spend the next day watching all these guys again. So.
Right. What did you guys think about Ade Adebawore? Because I feel like you could make some of the same arguments with him in terms of like being raw still in terms of like using his hands as a pass rusher and stuff like that. Yeah. But I honestly thought like him being out of position more hurt him. And with him, the get off is like never a question. Like that dude flies off the ball and he plays.
His flashes are way better.
Yeah. So
his
that's
like exactly like
if you're gonna make the argument for Dexter, like I don't know, I feel like in terms of a tools he plays, I want to bet on. I want
backyard. He's right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to bet on the guy who's head cut off, like who's just like running at full speed all the time. Like I can't say that about Dexter.
Yeah,
it's honestly kind of an issue that like I have, and I love Ojomo, but Ojomo sometimes too, like his high end plays are really, really nice. But then if you watch like a snap by snap of his game, like it looks like he'll take like 6 or 7 plays off in a row where he doesn't have any interest in being the first person off the ball kind of thing.
Right.
It was kind of similar with Dexter.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah,
but Adebawore
you're
going
gonna
to
take a chance.
Bills Mafia takes Osiris Torrance. He finally goes.
Like it would not shock me if they went Adebawore with this pick. I mean, you play Dexter 1 technique, you got Adebawore 3 technique. Like that would be totally fine with me if they double dipped at that position. I think at this point they're not.
DJ Turner. So the Bears are on the board in 4 picks. There's still a bunch of really good players left. I think honestly the reason, and like Bears fans might need to kind of get their head around the fact that the Bears are pretty high on like Whitehair and Patrick in that room as their centers.
Yeah.
They might just think, hey, like center is something we can try and address next year. And I've what's his name? Draft Nick. Jacob Infante was already saying that he's looking at centers next year and he thinks the next class, like the class next year, might even be better. So I mean, it is what it is on that front. I'm not sure that I agree. Like I think if White was there at 64 kind of thing, I would take him there, but
Sure.
it might be why, they do a trade up like that and aren't like going trenches. But I would say that, Tyreek Stevenson is a home run.
Honestly,
I love that player.
I think they're gonna go Zach Harrison if he's still here.
I'd like that pick.
Yeah,
we love that. Yeah.
I think they're gonna look for edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Edge
far,
would be big.
all the picks they've had today and the pick that they had yesterday, everyone they've taken so far has been a top 30 visit. So if you want to look at where the next pick might come from, look at who that's been. Yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, Dewan. I know the Bears aren't going to pick him because we have Darnell Wright, but Dewan Jones is still on the board. That's
I've
crazy.
heard some stuff about Dewan and why he might be falling. I heard he didn't interview well.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting.
wow, interesting.
Josh Downs still available. Cedric Tillman, Jalen Hyatt. They want a wide
Josh
receiver. Tyler
Downs
Scott.
still available.
Dude, what if they could double
Bears
do
don't
a
have a
double
true-
dip it back in the Tennessee well and get Jalen Hyatt right after Bayless?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Get all that speed.
Yeah.
All those
No,
speed guys who
wow.
can't run routes.
Right.
Tucker Kraft, maybe go
Yeah,
tight end.
I'd be down for that.
The,
I could
uh,
be under. Darnell Washington's still on the board too, right?
Yeah.
I'm
if
not the
Darnell
biggest-
Washington, they want to go Darnell Washington, I'd be fine with that. If they don't want to go Darnell Washington, I honestly say just wait until the 5th or 6th and go like a Will Mallory or a Zach Kuntz or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not even a big Zach or Darnell Washington guy.
No, I'm not either. But at this
Yeah.
point, like, sure, pull the trigger.
Right.
I don't care.
I'm excited to see what they do. Man, I
man.
gotta watch Tyreek Stevenson. Is he like a zone guy? Is he a man-to-man guy? Like,
He can do both.
He, honest to God, it's funny. Yeah, he can do both. He probably would be perfect in like the system that we played with Fangio, like quarters, not exactly like cover 2, but like you get to play 8 yards off the ball, keep everything in front of you. He can turn and run with people, but his like click and close is like really impressive.
okay.
Mhm.
I watched Keely Ringo today because I thought he could be someone the Bears could potentially target, and like, thank God they didn't take Keely Ringo, man.
Yeah, he's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, you know what's funny is Keely Ringo. The reason I was chill on Keely Ringo was because like I didn't think he had very good mobility and change of direction. And it's
Same.
funny, like it really showed up in his like mobility testing. And I didn't, when watching Tyreek Stevenson's film, didn't have any of that issues at all. But Tyreek Stevenson's agility testing, it was like pretty bad as well. And because of that, like you have to imagine he's just gonna be strictly an outside corner. And that's why like
Mhm.
I'd imagine
I
he'll
think
be a
he should
perfect
move
fit
to
for like,
safety.
okay.
Like, I think he should
Ringo,
move
you mean?
Bears got 2
like,
safeties, but it depends
a
on what
role
they
where he covers solely tight ends. Like, he's just that guy, you know.
Yeah. I think that's a good move for him.
Mhm.
Or just like a cover 3 corner, kind of
Right.
keeps things in front
That
of him.
too. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at his profile, Tyreek Stevenson's profile in the draft guide, and yeah, Renner was pretty high on him.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
Stevenson.
He was
Yeah.
he was another Senior Bowl guy too.
Which he flashed a couple times. I mean, I didn't really pay close attention to him, but I know he did pretty well.
Yeah, so Brugler had Stevenson as the 11th corner on his board. 2nd, 3rd round grade, 69th overall, so not a huge reach there. So I think that's probably lower than most people.
Mike Renner had him at 46. So
Yeah, that's probably the high end, and then 69 is probably the low end.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the consensus board to see.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah.
I was looking at his RAS score.
So
yeah,
of the if we're going to like the top 30 visits, because those are the people that they haven't taken anyone that they haven't had a top 30 visit with yet so far. Some people that could make sense here. Tyler Scott, they could do here. Dylan Horton from TCU, the edge rusher, who actually only came on my radar like last week. Yeah, I do too. Jordan McFadden,
So,
the tackle from Clemson, probably not.
Too early for him.
Mhm.
Carl
Juice
Brooks.
Scruggs just went
Carl
to the
Brooks,
Texans.
Tommy?
No way. I didn't like Juice that much.
Oh,
I didn't like Juice that much either. I'm glad
Yeah.
he went before the Bears picked. Yeah, he went 62. So
okay, so now it's just Lions and Bears. Oh my.
yeah. Who the Jaguars pick? I missed that pick.
Man, Twitter
They
keeps
picked,
logging me
Josh
out.
Downs.
They took Josh Downs.
The Jaguars did.
Okay.
Jaguars took
Yeah.
Josh Downs. Fuckers.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Great pick.
I mean, I think because Houston traded up for Juice Scruggs too. I think they traded
Wow.
in front of the Bears. They knew the Bears were I bet the Bears were picking him.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
Brenton Strange went to the Jaguars. That's early.
That is really early.
Damn.
Albert Breer just
Dar-
had 5 tight ends gone now. Georgia's monster, Darnell Washington, still on the board. As we said earlier, some teams have concern over his medical.
Yeah. I also think
Oh, okay.
Darnell Washington is a guy that Twitter's a lot higher on than the league. Even just from
100%.
a tape perspective. Yeah.
I just did not see anything.
I was never a huge fan. I mean, yeah, he's fun to watch.
right.
He's fun to watch,
He's
and he has
just
some
big.
highlights
He's
where he
just big.
hurdle. Yeah, and he has highlights where he's hurdling guys, so that's fun.
Mhm.
But from a snap for snap basis, he's okay, that's a blocking tight end.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Honestly, I was talking to Snyder. I was like, dude, if I was him, to make myself more money, I would change the tackle.
That's what I said, and I tweeted that out, and I got roasted for it.
But
he
his 20-yard
absolutely
shuttle at that size, how could you not even float it out there? It makes sense.
He's so big and strong. I don't even he's what 270 now. I don't even think he has. I think if he got to 290, I think he could play.
He'd be
tackle.
straight. He'd be fine. Yeah,
he'd be fine. He doesn't have to get up to 310 or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe do it over time.
Right.
Over the course of his career, maybe he gets over 300. But it's not like he has to put on 50 pounds or anything.
Right. So the Texans took Juice Scruggs. R.I.P.
And it looks like the Lions traded down. So maybe they
The
were
Lions be trading down, man.
Yeah. The Lions look
this'll be
kind of
interesting
recovered from day one. I kind of like Laporta and I love Brian Branch, but I liked Laporta
Yeah, Brian
too.
Branch was an awesome pick.
Yeah, Brian Branch was a good pick. That's just
honest to God, I love the players they took in the first round too, just not where they took them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They're not bad players, just you reach though.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. So the Broncos on the clock now. It'll be interesting to see who they take because you have to think that them jumping to that spot was probably had whoever the Bears might take in mind.
That's true. Has Adebaware gone? Still on the board?
No. Dude,
I honestly think that's not a bad option to double up like that. I like that.
Adam Hogue said that
Come on.
he talked to people at his pro day that had an undrafted grade on him before the Senior Bowl in his combine.
Adebaware?
Really?
Which blows my mind.
Undrafted? I mean, I don't think his tape was that good. But
Even
his
from a
tape was-
straight
yeah,
tape
you're.
point of view, there's
I'm
nothing.
right there on
There's
the
nothing
money.
that says
but,
undrafted.
You saw the traits on his tape though. It's not you know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
An undrafted grade. What?
That's crazy.
He plays hard at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he plays hard, and you knew he was athletic.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a guy who even if he wasn't a super freak athlete, you're okay, we'll take a flower at him on day 3.
Right. Wow, you're taking
Houston
German
did
Dexter at 53.
65,
But we got undrafted grades on
Yeah.
on Adebaware.
Houston traded 65, 188, and 230 to go up to 62. Go up 3 spots.
Damn.
Who did? The Texans?
Yeah.
Dude,
You got Juice Scruggs.
Casario's trades, on the trade chart value, just over the years, the one for Davis Mills, the one for John Mechie last year, have been horrible trades.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he uses one. I'm curious to see.
Juice Scruggs on the consensus board.
Wow, they took,
on the consensus board.
Broncos took
Marvin
Mims.
Bears are on the clock.
Over
Bears
Hyatt.
are on the clock.
So the NFL wasn't that fucking high on Hyatt. That's good to know too.
Yeah.
Or Josh
that's a
Downs,
good
which is
point.
crazy.
Right. So Juice Scruggs was according to the consensus board, was 175.
Come on.
And they took him at 64.
That's a big yuck.
And they
and
traded
they,
up
and they
for him.
traded up for him.
Yeah.
Where was
Thank God, if the Bears
would
if the Bears would have taken him at 64 for the 125,
that
I would
would've
have been
been
livid. So thank you, Texans.
Wait, yeah, where was Gervin Dexter? That's a good
I
question.
don't know. I don't have that in front of me. Do you have that in front of you?
I'm looking it up right now. All right,
Come
I
on,
think
Bears.
he was
This
in
is the last pick
round.
we're probably going to see from you guys today. Can we please see something that
Yeah.
makes us excited?
Yeah, give
He
me
was
someone.
74. He was 74.
That's not bad. I
Man,
mean, it's not
not bad,
great,
man.
but
It wasn't
Honestly,
Bayless
I-
Jones last year.
It's
yeah,
Tracy.
I thought he was going to be higher on the consensus. To be honest, Zach Pickens would also be another good if you are planning on doubling up on D tackle. I think he would be good.
Oh man, there's actually so many good D tackles left.
Isaiah McGuire, like let's
Dude,
just get it in right
McGuire,
now.
Harrison.
I'm worried it's gonna be a running back. I just have like a feeling it's gonna be like
Oh,
a running back.
Dude, that would be so bad. Don't put that juju out there, man.
My bad. Tucker Kraft. Let's go with that.
Adewale, Kobe Turner, even Siaki Ika, Morojomo.
I'm
What
trying to
about-
look.
what
Yeah,
about-
I'm trying to look who's still high on my. So Tank Dell, I think, is the highest player on my board who's available.
Oh, I hope it's not Tank Dell.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't
mean,
take it.
I the size just scares me so much. I
Right.
like the tape and everything, but like, man, it'd be rough. It's one. We're
on,
going down. I think
Chicago.
we're trying to trade this pick because we're going down to the wire here.
Yeah,
Tyler Scott, I like. If we're going.
yeah.
wide
I have
receiver.
Chandler
Man,
Zavala.
even Wiper
Alex
here would be
Tillman,
fine.
I have
Oh, no,
Zavala.
pick us in.
Zavala would be great.
Pick is in. Yeah, Chandler Zavala would be good. Braden Daniels. What about like yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, should I spoil it? Do we want to spoil it?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, you know who it is?
My screen
I don't-
is so
I don't know
far
yet.
behind.
Yeah, no, mine is too. That's why I'm just looking on Twitter.
Yeah.
It'll pop up soon.
I can't believe the Jags took Brendan Strange, dude. What the fuck?
That's
What?
so early. That's
What
so
the
early.
hell?
Who, man, I have no idea who this pick is going to be. Could be a center.
Is this did Devin Hester announce Gervin Dexter?
I think I missed Devin Hester. Like I don't know.
Miami.
He
to
must.
Miami.
I bet he did. I bet he did this. Yeah, because this looks like a military person is announcing this one.
Yeah.
They got to show some
OT
love
is still
to
a
Crete.
need. They say that OT is still a need for us. Sons of bitches.
Yeah, they need to update that. I mean, I would be. I mean, I don't. If they want to pick another tackle on day 3, I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah, I'm
But,
totally
it'd
cool
be-
with that.
At
Day
64.
three. Day 3. Come on,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
Adewale
yeah, no.
here. He's another top 30 visit guy.
Yeah, Adebawar is actually my highest ranked player. I don't know why I lied to both y'all. DeJuan Jones and Adebawar are
Tank
my.
Dell.
If you lie one more time, I'm kicking you out of here. Luke Weipler, Ricky Stromberg, maybe if they want to go center.
Dude,
Yeah, Stromberg.
I like Stromberg, but this would be rich.
That would be
was
high.
a 30.
That would be high.
Stromberg was a top 30 visit.
That'd be high for sure. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
naming guys that as I see.
I mean,
them.
I can see it. Like that's not too far off.
This actually, what would be like a sleeper if they want to go edge is Yaya Diaby here.
Yeah, he would make
Maybe a
lot of
little bit
sense,
high,
honestly.
but
Third
like,
round.
Yaya
Slightly
Diaby.
rich,
No,
slightly
I like Yaya
rich.
Diaby, don't get me
I
wrong.
think he's going higher than people think.
Yeah, I think he's really raw, but like he feels like an edge rusher that Chris Ballard would take in the second round. Like
for sure.
Right.
just tools he's
Darius
out, like
Rush.
very little production.
I mean, we obviously have our corner, but there's a lot of good corners still on the board.
Mhm. Dude, I wanted Cam Smith so bad. I don't know how y'all feel about Cam Smith.
Oh, I
we
know,
wanted-
man.
We also wanted Cam Smith. We were
Okay,
talking
I
about
really
that
wanted
earlier.
him, and I was like,
I know.
damn, dude, the Dolphins don't even.
We both
need
had
him.
Cam Smith as our as the 4 on our board.
Dude, he's their fourth corner, unless he beats out their slot corner that the undrafted guy who played good, Cater Cole.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, he's got Ramsey and Howard.
Mhm.
Now they got Cam Smith, but yeah, I forgot about him. Man, they are loaded.
They probably were like,
I
dude,
don't-
how the fuck is he still on the board? Like we have to
that's-
take him.
That was just a pure value pick.
Yeah.
Right? This has to have been leaked by now, right? Oh my god! I saw someone say Hylett, and I thought it was Jalen Hyatt, but
Oh my
it
God.
might be, but that is not what it is yet.
No way they would do
Pickens?
that. They would run that.
Is it
back.
Pickens? I think someone's saying it's Pickens, Zach Pickens. So they did go
Really?
back-to-back D tackles. I think
D-line
so.
again?
Yep, Zach Pickens.
I'm gonna wait for it.
I like Zach Pickens
Pickens?
a lot. Zach Pickens from South Carolina.
boy?
I really like Zach Pickens.
I didn't see like a ton of high-end reps on his tape,
Right.
but he's
he's
a better
just
run
good.
defender than I gave him credit for at first when I watched him. And like you do see like the traits every now and then. I just think he's like not consistent.
He also dominated the Senior Bowl. He was
Mhm.
unblockable at the Senior Bowl, I thought. I like Zach Pickens more than Gervin Dexter.
For sure. I had a way
so
higher grade on him than Gervin Dexter.
If they picked Pickens at 53 and Dexter here, I'd be like, that's great. So that's pretty much a wash to me at this point.
No,
Yeah,
Zach Pickens is
man.
good. Zach Pickens is another guy that when they, at the combine when they were running through the drills, was moving like considerably better
he's
than
a
the
great
other people
athlete.
there.
He was one of my guys in my list that I put out. I love Zach Pickens. I think he's going to be a much better pro than he was college player because he played a lot of nose tackle.
Yeah, he did.
For South
He
Carolina.
did.
He played a lot because they had that Hemingway or whatever his name is, he's in the draft next year, who's also really good at D tackle. So he was just like playing nose tackle by default. You put him at 3 technique and like, dude, he's going to take off. That's a great pick. I love how they doubled up on that. I really wanted that. I know people are going to probably be like, oh, I wanted Adebawari, but Zach Pickens' tape was 1,000 times better than Adebawari's. And he's also really athletic. Like, what was his? What was his RAS score?
He was super athletic. I'm about to post my write-up of him. I'd like this is right where I have him on my board, like this range of the draft, but like I had like a third-ish. I don't know. I just like didn't think he was like super impactful as a pass rusher. It was kind of just flashes. Like, but as a run defender, I really liked him. But like once I found out he had traits, I was like, okay, like there's something here.
Yeah, 9.23 RAS score.
Yeah, and I thought he was a way better pass rusher than Gervin Dexter for sure.
Yeah, his like high-end reps were way better.
Yeah. I like taking
for sure.
You really have to admire like just doubling up there. Like cuz there's not really any sure things by the time they were taking the defensive tackles. Just add competition to that room.
I love that they doubled up on that. I was saying if they picked Adebawari, they were great, but I like Zach Pickens too. I mean, I had Adebawari over Zach Pickens in my rankings. I'm pretty sure. But,
I thought Adebawari played harder. Like, it was just like not more noticeable, but like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know if I could read you what I wrote. I'm literally about to post it. It's so brief because I feel like that was kind of what I left feeling after watching Pickens. I just thought he was kind of solid across the board.
I think so too. But I think that's there's value in that. And
sure,
like I said, like he was playing out of position most of the time at South Carolina. So if you put him at his more natural 3 technique, like I think he's going to take off. I really love this pick. This is probably my favorite pick. I like this better than. I mean, I like Tyreek Stevenson, but I think that this pick is even better for me.
Okay, I wrote. Sorry, it's posting right now. If there was a jack of all trades, master of none of this IDL class, Zach Pickens would be my choice. He's solid against the run, pretty proficient as a pass rusher, and displays above average tools on tape. Yet there was nothing that overwhelmingly stood out with his profile until the combine. Pickens put up a 9.31 RAS score and measured in with 34 and 3. I don't even know what I wrote there. My bad.
3/4.
Measured in with 34-inch arms, 85th percentile. I was not expecting him to be that much of a physical specimen.
Oh wow, you love to see that.
On the field, he looks fine, just nothing extraordinary. I was left wanting more, and that was tough to say for a guy who has played as much football as Pickens has. At least he showed there could be some meat left on the bone in terms of his athletic goods. His film, however, doesn't project out to be more than a decent contributor at the next level. And then, I don't know, did you guys think he had like maybe not motor issues, but like I don't know, I just didn't think like he played that all that intense. Like I wouldn't characterize that guy as
I had the same thought.
Yeah, could probably play with a bit more sense of urgency.
Mhm.
I agree with that, but I just think this is a perfect pick at this point in the draft because he's just solid across the board. And we're talking about a round 3 guy. You're not going to get, most likely, you're not getting a Hall of Famer in round 3. You might.
Definitely.
So you're getting a guy who's going to be a long time pro.
I think people overuse the term violent to describe football players, but he could be a little bit more violent.
Right.
Yeah. I also thought he was pretty good against the run too. Not that pass rushing is
he's solid.
What really matters, but he was really good against the run.
Mm.
But yeah,
he's way better against the run than he looks like he should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For being your undersized, not undersized. I mean, he's 290. He's not undersized, but for being a lighter, explosive guy, he can two-gap pretty well.
For sure. Well, they addressed the trenches, this draft so far. The offensive tackle in the first, and then 2 D tackles in the second. Man, they got some beef now.
Yeah,
on the defensive line.
Straight defense. They went straight defense today, which kind of shows you where they think their offense is at.
Yeah, I don't think that's that surprising. I think they like Patrick at center. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I think that that's what's happening here. And they didn't really need a wide receiver. They would have been nice. They didn't need a tight end. So
yeah,
last year there were moments when the offense looked as good as any offense in the league. They had those 35-point output games and stuff. There was never a game where the Bears defense looked good.
No.
Yeah, I honestly like a lot of their offense. I think their offense is in really good shape.
Their offense is way closer than people realize, especially adding DJ Moore and adding Darnell Wright, where he's a lock to start day one at right tackle, and you don't have to do anything with Braxton Jones for at least another year. You can kind of say, okay, you had your rookie year, which is usually pretty hard on tackles, and as good as he looked, now you can at least afford him another year to see if he can develop into the things we need him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Steen off the board.
The Eagles.
That would have been a good pick. I didn't even think about him.
Interesting.
The Eagles got Tyler Steen?
Yeah.
No, the Eagles got Sidney Brown.
Yeah.
They just didn't. Who? Okay, whatever.
Do it.
Selecting O-line. Tyler Steen.
They have 2 picks. Okay, so Tyler Steen. Okay, well, the Eagles are just killing it, obviously.
Dude, Sidney Brown, too, in the 3rd round? God damn.
Yeah. There's your Chauncey Gardner-Johnson replacement.
Dude, the Eagles, man. The fucking Eagles.
Killing it. It's annoying.
Me and Steve were saying, man, Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, come on.
Yeah, that should have never been allowed to happen.
They're just building Georgia again. Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith.
Yeah. How are we feeling just as a whole? You feeling good with this draft?
I feel
pretty good about it.
I mean, dude, I love the Darnell Wright pick. I'm not even tripping. Okay, obviously I would have drafted Jalen Carter, but I don't know. I wasn't in the room, I don't know how he interviewed, how he worked out for them. I don't know any of that stuff. So I can sit here and bitch about it all day, but they obviously made that decisions not for on the field reasons. So because I don't have that information, I'm not gonna judge them for it.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what we said.
Right, because what, dude, you could sit there and cry about it all you want, but at the end of the day, we don't know what ownership thought too. We know how George McCaskey is about guys with quote-unquote character issues. There could have been a million different reasons they didn't draft. I don't know that information.
And it feels like they've been especially averse to them ever since you guys
the Ray McDonald thing. Yeah, me and Scott talked about the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to lose sleep over
ever
it.
Since then. They've just
right. They want guys with clean. I don't blame them. It is what it is.
No, I get it too. It's just another thing you have to worry about.
Right.
And it's a young regime.
So how could I be
saw
mad?
a good point on that too. Yeah. I saw a good point that it's the Eagles are a team where one, they're a bit of an older regime. Like they have a lot of the people that have been in place for a long time that'll come in and they know their systems, and like a player like that can just get sucked into their system and go along. And two, that their roster is so ready made, they can afford to completely miss on Jalen Carter and still be Super Bowl contenders. Like the Bears needed to have a sure thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I come back to that this season in so many ways, and maybe relying on a rookie right tackle and a 5th round second-year tackle isn't the best way to kind of ensure that like the offensive line gets better. But like I always come back to like this year's so pivotal about finding out what you really have in Justin Fields, at least from a passing perspective. Yeah. So like to reinvest in him is really important.
They had to. And we also talk about like they had to go offensive tackle there because like who was the offensive tackle you were getting around too? With like Bergeron went off the board, like maybe Dwan Jones obviously didn't kill his interview, so you're not picking him.
Dwan Jones,
like,
what the heck?
Who are you taking right now? You don't have
our boy Carter Warren, man.
That's true. I would have been if they didn't pick him, I'd be pounding. I'm still pounding the table of Carter Warren.
Yeah,
that's a perfect swing tackle. That's a perfect swing tackle.
100%.
Or maybe even even your starting left tackle.
For sure. Yeah, I know he can
taking Darnell Wright shouldn't dissuade you from taking a Carter Warren or like a Nick Saldiveri later.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
100%. Yeah, so that was that.
I thought Drew Sanders was going like the 1st round.
I watched Drew Sanders like before the Bears like signed other linebackers, and I was like, this guy's not very good. Okay. But yeah, he was like getting 1st round hype and like everything. I was like, I didn't really understand it at all. He was a better pass rusher.
Yeah, I heard he's like an edge rusher linebacker hybrid type of guy.
Yeah, as an edge rusher, I thought he was good, but as a linebacker, man, he was awful. I thought.
Sounds about right.
Who just went?
Drew Sanders. So who are your guys' top? I'll just do top 5 players still left on the board, and correct me if I'm wrong if any of these guys got taken. So mine would be Adebawore, or I'm sorry, mine would be Dwan Jones.
Josh Downs is my number 1 player left right now.
He got taken.
Who took Josh Downs?
No, I don't think he did.
I think the Jags took him.
You said that, but I'm on the ESPN like draft tracker. He's still listed as.
I don't know why was Daniel Jeremiah talking about him though. He compared him to Jahan Dotson.
I don't know. Maybe this thing hasn't. Maybe it's not updated or something.
That boy's still there. He's gonna make someone happy.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I got Josh Downs. I got Adebawore. I got Darnell Washington. I got Dwan Jones.
I got all those names. Obviously, I have Tank Dell. Did Cedric Tillman get taken?
No, he didn't.
I have Cedric Tillman.
The receiver board has fallen very weird. Mm-hmm. Michael Wilson's still on the board.
Yeah.
Luke Whippler, Moro Jomo, Carl Brooks, Siaki Ika.
Love all those names. Siaki Ika, I'm all right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of grew. I don't think he's much more than like a rotational guy. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like a high level.
To be fair, I mean, I could have argued him to be better than Pickens or Dexter, but I think above with all those guys, very similar like concerns. I thought all 3 of them got washed on double teams, which is fine, but it's probably a bigger issue if you're Ika because Ika's like a strict 1.
Right. 100%. You guys had Ika over both Dexter and Pickens.
I did, yeah.
That's
crazy. He was just better. Like he was just a better football player than both. Obviously the tools. I mean, yeah, you probably lean the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of see it. But yeah, with the tools and the testing, like it was, those guys were definitely going to go before Ika. But yeah, I didn't really like Ika that much at all.
Dude, so I watched Ika.
He didn't have my top 10.
I watched him. What was I going to say? I think it was like the West Virginia game. I don't know. It was like games earlier in the season. And then I watched the games towards the end and I was like, oh, like this is what people are talking about. Like this kind of makes sense. Like I can see this. Like I get why people are liking this. So he grew on me.
Lions take Hendon Hooker.
Great on him. And then I watched it and it made some sense.
That's a good pick for the Lions, honestly. Like,
yeah, it is a good pick for the Lions.
Wait, who do they pick?
That's
Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker.
Okay. Yeah,
That's like
fine.
the Lions are kind of similar to the Eagles, where like a lot of these picks like don't need to be immediate starters for them. Like, they can take a quarterback like Hendon Hooker, and if they don't like what they see or they have any concerns about his knee, whatever it is, like, they'll have another good year out of Jared Goff. And I
Right.
will say though that I think they probably should have taken a bigger risk at it because they're going to lose Ben Johnson next year, and he actually seems like he's the motor that makes that run.
Right. They're the 2018 Rams, bro. Taking
Yeah,
Jahmyr Gibbs.
that was crazy. I will say about Hendon Hooker that like I
Dude,
watched a lot.
Yo, straight up, they could have added so much talent in the first round if they drafted better. Like they could have been so dangerous. Them drafting linebackers and running backs is such a treat.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Hendon Hooker though, because I obviously watched a lot of Tennessee tape because like they Bears picked Bayless Jones and like Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman this year, and like his stats were amazing. But like just watching him, I was like, how did this guy put up such like amazing stats? Like he misses a lot of throws. Like I didn't think he was that impressive at all.
Yeah,
Dude,
I didn't love
so
his
much
tape
Tennessee. I know exactly what you're saying. Like,
Yeah,
you just like come away. That's like
He's
not
got
very
really, really like his feet have like no urgency to them at all. He's never like bouncing or resetting them. When he gets to the bottom of his drop, his feet are flat and he stands still. And it's like, oh, dude, you gotta step up, move the pocket, do something. And it's like basically, I would say that it's because like that offense usually will have someone 15 yards open.
They had a PFF like tracks like where you scan the field, like how quarterbacks scan the field, like if they look like left or right or whatever. And they said throughout Hendon Hooker's time at Tennessee, he scanned the full entire field 15 times. That's it. Like, that's how fake that offense was.
That I buy that. That's kind of I feel like that was. You have to wonder how different it would have been though if he hadn't have torn his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, does he go round one if that's the case? I don't know.
Because if he had a full,
he's 25 years old. Like I don't think he would have. Like,
yeah, he's 25 years old, and as I said, I don't think his tape was that good. So,
right.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Hendon Hooker like being like the next great.
The Bears should have drafted him.
Like,
Man. The Bears fucked up. We should
have drafted
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker at 1 instead of Trey.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, missed out.
Raiders take Byron Young from Alabama. I really like that pick, man.
Yeah,
I like Byron Young a lot.
He's intriguing. Byron Young is.
Yeah,
because I thought he got better at pass rushing, and I thought he was one of the best run defenders in the class.
Wait, did it say Alabama Byron Young or Tennessee Byron Young?
Oh,
which one?
Alabama.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Steve. He is the same Alabama player, just over and over again.
That was so true. Alabama always has that one defensive lineman who's like so solid, and he goes in the 3rd round and has a 10-year career.
Dude, I remember watching Phidarian Mathis last year, and I was like a game man, and I was like, I don't really need to watch anymore, bro. I know what I'm watching. Like,
yeah,
this is the same guy.
Tank Dell off the board.
Yeah, Tank Dell to Houston. So CJ Stroud to Tank Dell.
Bro, they just have like a bunch of small receivers. John Mechie, Tank Dell.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I was never a big Tank Dell fan. Like I saw why people liked him because like he moves so well, but like he's so small. He's gonna get bowling.
I get it. I'm a fan. Like I bought it. I mean, like I think it's like your 3rd option. Like that's where I had him. Like you know what I mean. Like I don't think he's gonna be ever a number 2 receiver. But yeah, I get why.
He'll also be like a really big benefit in the. I think honestly, guys like him and guys like Josh Downs are really, really big benefits for like red zone because like if not just being that you don't still have a vertical threat and you have to be able to win like laterally, like guys that can change direction that quickly can be really big issues there.
For sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like everyone like always says, like you draft like a big receiver or a big tight end, and be like, oh, that's a red zone threat. It's like, yeah, no. Sometimes like the smaller guys are actually better in the red zone.
They, I hate to keep bringing up PFF, but they do some research about this. And it's like the goal line fade is like one of the most inefficient plays in football.
Yeah.
Like rarely ever works.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's
I learned that in Madden. Never fucking worked.
It has never worked in Madden, and will
Yeah,
probably
it
never
does.
work.
They should just erase that
It's
play out of the
always a
playbook.
pick.
Yeah, it's always a pick every single time. Does
And
anyone?
it's so
actually,
annoying
that'd
because
be
they never
interesting.
never plays out the way you want it to. Like
No.
they're like they start the route like they're running like a 40-yard like vert.
And you could be thrown to someone with an X factor and it still just like never works. Like it's just awful.
No, yeah. Kendre Miller going to the Saints. He's a good player, man.
Yeah, I thought Kendrick Miller was good.
He's got good contact balance. He had nice tape.
What running backs are left? Like I don't. I'm sorry, I don't have any on my board. So which ones are?
Dwayne McBride.
Dwayne McBride is really good, but he has no pass catching ability. So the Bears will probably
Well,
get
we don't know
Roshan
for
Johnson,
sure.
Tyjae Spears, Israel
Roshan
Bonaconda,
Johnson,
Eric
man.
Gray. I actually really like Eric Gray on day 3 for the Bears. Kenny McIntosh is a good receiver. Chris Rodriguez is a solid player. Deuce Vaughn. If you want Tariq Cohen 2.0.
Yeah, dude's fun. Little fella. Although he didn't test very
Yeah.
well.
No, he didn't. But neither did Tariq Cohen though. Tariq Cohen did not have like great athletic testing.
Did he really not have
Oh,
good
really?
testing?
I don't. That's what I remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna look
No,
it up.
you could be right. I have no idea. I would just like he looked really athletic. No,
You'd
he had a
imagine that his agility
he had a
stuff was
horrendous
psycho, right?
system besides his 40, dude.
Yeah.
He vertical jumped 29 3/4 inches. I'm sorry,
did?
I lied.
Wait, sorry, who's this? Who are you talking about?
This is Tariq Cohen. I'm sorry, I looked at his
Okay.
arm length. But it wasn't too far off. He vertical jumped 31 and a half.
Dude, I
inches.
remember I saw someone
Yeah.
like comparing Jackson Smith and Jigba to who's that Brown slot receiver?
Brown slot receiver.
Currently?
No, he played there when like Baker was there.
Jarvis Landry?
Yeah. Someone compared him to Jarvis Landry, and it was like, dude, Jarvis Landry was like literally one of the worst athletes I've ever seen come out.
Yeah, I
like
think
Yeah.
his testing was horrible.
my comp for Parker Washington was actually Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, that's better. Parker Washington didn't test great either.
Like
He'll be
like
on the
a
board
big
here for a little
slot.
bit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to think at this point that Cedric Tillman probably people have some concerns about the knee.
Yeah, 100%. I thought, and like
Yeah.
the thing with Cedric Tillman, like he tested like pretty okay. Like he tested way better than I thought he was. I was like, if he runs anywhere in the 4.6s, like the low 4.6s, like he has a chance. But he ran what? Here, I'm looking up his numbers right now. So he ran a 4.54, vertical jump 37 inches, broad jump 128. Like those are good numbers.
Yeah.
He's got he compares physically to Josh Gordon, according to Mock Draftable.
Josh Gordon, man. Josh Gordon.
What could have been? What could have been?
What a
Right.
crazy-
He's still
What
kicking
a
around like the
crazy thing.
XFL, right? Like he's
he is.
in the XFL or something. Josh
Or
Gordon
he-
single-handedly won me my fantasy league that one year. He was really good on the Browns, like his
Yeah.
rookie year or whatever that was.
Everybody and their cousin smoking dope in the NBA, but Josh
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah.
Gordon gets his whole career offsided because of it.
How bad do you have to be at hiding it? Like, I feel like I think what
Dude,
they
and
said
like,
is
getting like a year suspension. What
once
are
you
we
get
doing
caught
here?
once, they're on your ass. Like,
Yeah.
it's basically
Yeah.
like a death sentence. You keep
Yeah. I
doing
mean, it's stupid though. Like, let him smoke weed. Who cares? It's not hurting anyone.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but by the same
I'd
merit,
love
it's like
to
if you're not allowed to smoke weed in the NFL, just chill for a little bit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely should have stopped if they were that serious about it. Like, you're costing yourself millions of dollars to smoke weed, but like, it's a bad look that the NFL was that harsh about it now. Like, after
Yeah.
everything, I mean, we knew at the time it wasn't
Yeah.
ever even that bad, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, for sure.
He got a bigger suspension for that than Deshaun Watson did for all the stuff that happened with him.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
You
crazy.
got to make it make sense.
Put it in perspective like that. It's pretty crazy.
Man, I can't believe there's some good players that are going to be available on day 4. Do the Bears have the first pick in round 4? Should,
Yeah, they do.
They do.
It'd be
103,
nice.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice because we'll have, they'll be able to sleep on it and see if they can't get a market for it. If there's someone they
I was
want, they
gonna
can take,
say-
and if not, they can.
I hope they just trade down a little bit. But then again, if there's like someone who drops down there, but yeah, there's some good players.
Oh,
There's
Tyreek Stevenson. Let's go. That's huge.
Like if they can get like Zach Harrison or did Isaiah McGuire go? I don't think so.
No, he has not.
No,
Like one of
which
those
is
2
crazy.
guys on day 4, like Yaya Diaby too. Like one of those 3 guys will probably be there.
Considering Larry Borum is not happy with his place on the team, I feel like it's the Bears' goal to get another Mizzou legend in there. So Isaiah McGuire is a must at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
He really hit Twitter with the lol. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
And the thing is, like, Larry Borum, like, in terms of a swing tackle option, you could do a lot worse, I guess. Like,
yeah. I mean, like it or not, he has starting experience. So
yeah, like there you go. Like,
it's
he has that
follow
one
him as a
game
swing.
against TJ Watt that was like he had like 4 good snaps against him.
Yeah. He had like 4 good snaps when we were like doing a lot of heavy play action, moving the pocket.
Right.
And like everyone said he was going to be the next, Orlando Pace.
Yeah. Those were the days, man.
Those are the days. Now we actually got the next Orlando
Those were the days.
in Darnell Wright. So,
Oh,
man, I'm so
Darnell Wright and
pumped for
Tyreek
Darnell
Stevenson
Wright.
are home runs.
I'm just looking at Gervin Dexter's athletic profile, and it is the weirdest athletic profile ever.
Yeah.
So the dude is 6'6", 310 pounds, 32 and a quarter inch arms, 19th percentile. Dude is a literal T-Rex.
Yeah.
He ran a 4.88 40, which is the 91st percentile, but it was a 1.81 10
So
yards,
crazy.
which it confirms everything on tape. Like the first step was horrible, and I know that some of it because it's like delayed.
What did you say his 10-yard split was?
Was a 1.81, the 20th percentile.
Not according to Raz.
I have it as a 1.7.
1.7, yeah.
I have
really
it
good.
on. Maybe they got it wrong on Mock Draftable.
Or maybe here, let me make the one's a pro day number, one's a combine one. Let's see.
It could be it.
Yeah, maybe Combine changed it
I'm gonna look up.
everyone I've seen. I just basically go to Twitter and just go type in the name and the RAS, and they have it as 1.7.
So yeah,
And
no,
1.7 is like
At the
I don't know where they
combine.
got that number.
1.7 is actually like really, really good.
Yeah, that's
at
really
the combine. At the combine, it was 1.7. That's in Dane Brugler's guide, so he's not getting it wrong.
Okay. Mock Draftable.
This is a good tweet by Max Markham. Max Markham goes, Darnell Wright was the sixth fastest and 3rd heaviest tackle. Gervon Dexter was the 5th fastest defensive tackle. Zach Pickens was the 6th fastest defensive tackle. If you're fat and fast, you're a bear.
I love it. Fat and fast.
That's what a bear does.
Are there any like fat and fast centers or DNs?
Dude, Ricky Stromberg
I
is
don't
not
know.
like overly. He doesn't weigh overly more than your average center, but that dude like is put together so weird. He's like put together like T Grizzly. I don't know if you guys know what T Grizzly looks like. He's like top heavy as hell.
It was cool seeing Darnell Wright with his jersey today, man. This is such a fun part of the offseason.
I decided I'm purchasing a Darnell Wright jersey. He was my
Damn,
guy.
that's
I've never had an
amazing.
offensive line jersey. And I mean, I'm gonna get it from China and pay $30. Like I'm not gonna spend $300 on a jersey. But I'm doing it.
Who the Cardinals taking?
Yeah, they're good. I'm usually I
Cardinals
got
got Garrett Williams.
I feel like I just got hosed jersey after jersey when I was a kid, so I chilled on it a little bit.
Yeah.
After Eddie Jackson was the last one I got, and then he switched his number, and I was like, "This is all so."
I bought an Eddie
The last
Jackson
one
jersey.
I got
like
was Anthony Miller, bro. Imagine that.
I thought Anthony Miller was gonna be so good.
Dude, he was my favorite player. Like I loved him.
Man,
Just didn't
my
work out,
parents
man.
went down to training camp that year, and they were like, of
Giants
every
got
receiver
Taylor
that was
Hyatt.
there, like They were like that Anthony Miller guy moved the best for sure.
Jalen Hyatt at pick 73. That's fine. Like
Garrett Williams.
Jalen Hyatt
Garrett
fan,
Williams goes. There it is.
Jalen Hyatt at pick 73 is like fine. That's a good pick. Like at least he's really, really fast.
All right,
Yeah.
boys. Well, I think I'm gonna sign off.
All right, yeah, no problem.
Gotta run.
I mean,
I think that'll be it for me too, boys.
yeah, no, I think we're good because the Bears aren't trading up that into the
Mhm.
fourth, so we're good today. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks, Tom, for stopping by. I'm gonna be on the Irish Bear Show podcast tomorrow. We're not
I
doing
will
one
be on
either.
there as well.
Oh, awesome, cool. So we'll both be on there. So make sure to tune into that and follow us all on Twitter because we'll be tweeting out our thoughts and everything like that. I'm gonna put together some videos here, some video breakdowns. So make sure to follow, subscribe, and everything. All right, guys. Bear down. Talk to everyone
Oh,
later
yeah.
this week.
We're down.
See you guys.